Now for a real treat. You're invited to some fine backyard dining with a chef who loves cooking with apples, especially at home.
Hi, my name is Meherwan Irani. I'm a chef and restaurateur. I'm the owner of the Chai Pani Restaurant Group here in Asheville, North Carolina. I didn't grow up cooking in India. Contrary to the lore that I could easily spin of me growing up cooking by my mother's side, if you know anything about Indian culture, the reality is usually boys were not in the kitchen. So I started experimenting with cooking in grad school in my little dorm, and it became a thing. And that started a love affair with food, primarily because I was trying to recreate something from way back when. Apples in India are not the fruit like it appears to be quite often in North Carolina. We rarely cook with it unless we're making one of two things. Some sort of Indian chaat, or we make sort of like a stew. We call them sabzis in India, and a sabzi is any vegetable that's cooked slightly dry. So I'm gonna make an apple sabzi. Many spices smell don't necessarily translate to just also the flavor they're gonna add to the dish. And the single best way to figure out flavors that a spice is gonna add is to bloom them in oil. So we're gonna go ahead and get our onions diced up. We're gonna get our chilies chopped, and we're gonna core and peel and quarter our apples. I've got some fresh spices. We'll snip a little curry leaves from the curry plant. I've got a little fresh coriander plant in the backyard, cilantro, and we'll take some cilantro stems. And once we have everything we need prepped up, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's a quick saute, a quick sear. It'll be delicious. The first trick here with most Indian cooking is to go ahead and temper the spices in oil. Coconut oil for this one because I really want that coconut forward flavor in this. And next is mustard seeds. The trick for putting mustard seeds in oil is to get the oil really hot, because if you just pop the mustard seeds in while the oil's not really sizzling, they're not gonna actually pop and release, they're just gonna cook and burn. And here's a way to test. Drop 1 or 2 seeds in there. If they don't start wiggling, sizzling, or popping, oil isn't hot enough. And see that popping action that's starting to happen? That's what we want. The minute they start to pop, turn the heat down to low, and then add the curry leaves. And they start to pop, and step back a little bit when adding curry leaves because you're gonna get a little spluttering. But what's happening now is the mustard seed and the curry leaf is flavoring the oil, and that flavor is gonna be imparted through the entire dish. Going in with my onions now. All right, so we're gonna let the onions sweat and get to a nice golden brown. One ingredient that's optional to this dish, I love the taste of peppercorns. I should have added these in early, but just a few whole black peppercorns in, even now, not too late. If you're gonna put powdered spices, now you put them in so that they don't burn it. So I'm gonna put coriander in, I'm gonna put turmeric in, I'm gonna put the red chilies in. All right, final steps. I'm gonna add the fresh grated coconut. Most grocery stores do sell frozen fresh grated coconut. Coconut's in, and now my apples. In order to sweat the apples down and let them cook down, you've got 2 options. You can add water, or if you wanna take it up a notch, add some coconut milk. I like the whole kind, don't get the light coconut milk. If you're gonna use coconut milk, just go for the good stuff. This is a good place to taste it. See if it needs anything. A little more salt. So everything's done. All we need now is time and the judicious application of heat. And we'll do that by putting a lid on this, turn it down to low, and let it simmer for about 10 minutes and let those apples completely cook all the way through. And this dish will be done. It's sort of dry wet, and that's exactly what we want. You don't want it so dry to where you don't have a little bit of liquid, but you don't want it so wet to where it's a curry or a gravy. This is perfection. So right now, a bowl of rice with some dal and a little bit of the sabzi on the side would be perfect. So I think the only thing this needs is some color. I love cilantro. It really is finishing a dish. So there it is, apple sabzi a la Meherwan's backyard. Hope you enjoy. See you soon, Sheri.